Imagine waking up one day, only to find that your favorite anime figurine has mysteriously vanished. Now that is the start of a day that is anything but ordinary. Picture this. Our protagonist, a casual anime lover, begins their day with a jolt. They reach out for their favorite anime figurine, a cherished piece of their daily routine. But their fingers meet nothing but the cold, empty air. They blink, they rub their eyes, but alas, their beloved figurine is nowhere to be found. They search high and low, turning their house upside down. They look under the couch, behind the bookshelf, even inside the refrigerator. But the figurine, the one they've loved and treasured, continues to elude them. Every nook and cranny of their home is inspected, but their efforts are in vain. The figurine remains missing. A sense of unease creeps in. They live alone, and there were no signs of a break-in. No shattered windows, no broken locks. Everything is just as it should be, except for the puzzling absence of the figurine. The protagonist scratches their head, a look of utter bewilderment on their face. They try to recall the previous night. They had placed the figurine on the bedside table before turning off the lights and sinking into a peaceful slumber. There were no strange sounds, no odd happenings. It was an ordinary night, just like any other. As the day progresses, the mystery deepens. The protagonist can't shake off the feeling of something amiss. They can't help but wonder, where could the figurine have gone? Was it misplaced, stolen, or was there something more at play here? A cold wind whistles outside, sending a shiver down their spine. They glance around their home, now seeming a little less familiar, a little more eerie. The sun sets, the shadows lengthen, and the mystery of the missing figurine remains unsolved. With no logical explanation, the question remains, where did the figurine go? Eerie background music starts. As days morph into nights, our protagonist starts registering odd occurrences. The familiarity of their home starts to ebb, replaced by an eerie unfamiliarity. The once commonplace existence of our main character is jolted by a baffling peculiarity. The residence, once a sanctuary radiating comfort, now seems to be serving as the platform for an odd sequence of events. Visuals fade to dark, shadowy images of the house. Their abode, once animated with the humdrum of life, now resonates with an uncanny silence punctuated by inexplicable sounds that reverberate in the stillness of the night. Sound effects, creaking doors, distant whispers. The protagonist's expressions of fear and confusion are illuminated by the flickering lights, casting sinister shadows that waltz on the walls. Visuals highlight the protagonist's scared and confused expressions. Unassuming everyday objects seem to take on a life of their own. Visuals, books rearranging themselves, TV changing channels on its own. Even their cherished anime figurines seem to change their places as if engrossed in a spectral game of musical chairs. The protagonist's treasured anime poster, once a beacon of happiness, appears to quiver in the still room, as if attempting to narrate a story. Their sanctuary, filled with anime mementos and comfort, now appears to be controlled by an unseen force. Initially disregarding these events as mere illusions, the protagonist starts to recognize a pattern. A strange sensation of fear seeps in, as they begin to suspect the existence of a supernatural entity. Could it be a ghost, a spirit, or maybe a spectral fan of anime like them, they ponder. Sudden gust of wind sound effect. They begin to question if their passion for anime might have drawn this ethereal visitor. The protagonist is forced to question, has their home turned into a playground for this ghostly entity? Has anime obsession somehow resonated beyond the veil of mortality, attracting this spectral visitor? As they delve into these queries, the truth remains enigmatic, veiled in the mystery of this ghostly presence. In a twist of fate, our protagonist stumbles upon an old anime DVD buried deep in their collection. A sense of curiosity stirs within them as they inspect this long-forgotten relic. They don't remember ever purchasing this particular DVD, and its cover, worn by time, only adds to the mystery. Their eyes narrow, a quizzical look crosses their face, and a decision is made. The DVD player hums to life, the screen flickers, and our protagonist is swept into a world of animation, a world seemingly forgotten yet intriguingly familiar. As the story unfolds on the screen, our protagonist is taken aback. The anime centers around a ghost character, a character that bears an uncanny resemblance to the figurine that has mysteriously vanished from their collection. The ghost, with its spectral glow and ethereal demeanor, captivates our protagonist. The protagonist leans in, their eyes glued to the screen, their mind whirling with questions. How is it possible? Could it just be a coincidence? Or is there something more to this ghostly character that mirrors their missing figurine? The ghost, with its hauntingly familiar features, seems to beckon our protagonist, drawing them deeper into the story. The protagonist feels a connection, a strange bond with this ghostly character. It's as though the ghost knows them, understands them, and is trying to communicate with them through the anime. The anime ends leaving our protagonist in a state of wonder and bafflement. They sit there, the glow of the television screen casting long shadows around the room, the DVD player humming softly in the background. The room is silent, but for the protagonist's thoughts, ricocheting around their mind like a pinball. The connection between the ghostly character in the anime and their missing figurine is too strong to ignore. It's as if the universe is weaving a mysterious narrative, a story that's far from over. Could this ghostly anime character have something to do with the strange occurrences and the missing figurine? The question lingers in the air, leaving our protagonist pondering over the strange twist of fate. Desperate for answers, our protagonist decides to conduct an anime-inspired ritual. They know that the answers they need can only come from the ghost who's been luring in the shadows. The ghost, they believe, is a fan of anime, just like them, and so the protagonist hatches a plan to reach out. They start by preparing their favorite anime snacks. The spread is colorful and inviting, with onigiri, pocky sticks, and ramune sodas, all reminiscent of the food feasts often seen in anime. They believe that these delicacies might tempt the anime ghost into making an appearance. Their next step is to play a DVD. Not just any DVD, but one that holds the episode that first sparked their love for anime. The protagonist remembers how they felt watching that episode for the very first time. The excitement, the fascination, the sense of being transported to a different world. They hope that the ghost, too, might be moved by this shared passion. As the protagonist hits play, their heart is pounding with anticipation. They sit down, surrounded by the glow of the television and the scent of their anime snacks. They listen to the familiar theme song, the comforting dialogues, and the exciting plot twists. They watch as their beloved characters come to life on the screen, just as they have so many times before. The protagonist waits, hoping for a sign, a hint, anything that might suggest the presence of the anime ghost. The room is silent, save for the voices from the television and the protagonist's own heartbeat echoing in their ears. Each moment seems to stretch on forever, filled with a mix of fear, hope, and anticipation. Finally, as the episode comes to an end, something happens. As the credits roll, a cold breeze sweeps the room and the lights flicker. Has the anime ghost responded? The protagonist is left staring at the flickering screen, their heart pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. Have they finally made contact with the ghost? Only time will tell. The next morning, the protagonist wakes up to a delightful surprise. As the sun begins to paint the morning sky with hues of gold and pink, our protagonist stirs from their slumber. In the quiet serenity of the dawn, they find their much-loved anime figurine, previously thought lost, back in its rightful place. The sight of the familiar face brings a sense of relief, a comforting familiarity washing over the protagonist like a warm embrace. As they wander through the house, they notice an unspoken calm. The once eerie silence is now filled with a sense of peace. The odd happenings that had once filled the house with a sense of foreboding have ceased. There are no more spectral whispers in the dead of night, no more inexplicable movements of objects, no more signs of a ghostly presence. As the protagonist ponders these changes, a realization dawns on them. The anime ghost, the spectral presence which had caused so much upheaval, had only wanted one thing all along: to watch its favorite show and indulge in some earthly snacks. A laugh bubbles up from the protagonist's chest as they imagine the ghost, huddled in front of the TV, munching on chips and completely engrossed in the latest anime episode. In this moment, our protagonist learns a valuable lesson: that not all encounters with the supernatural need to be shrouded in fear and mystery. Some can be humorous, even endearing. They come to understand that even a ghost, a being from another realm, can enjoy the simple pleasures of life, and that shared interests can bridge the gap between the living and the dead. As the day progresses, the protagonist feels a newfound connection with the anime ghost. They begin to leave out snacks and keep the TV tuned to their favorite anime channel, hoping to provide comfort to their spectral housemate. In the end, even ghosts can't resist a good anime. Remember, not all supernatural encounters have to be scary, some can be just super.